The best operators I work with have the same problem. They're not disorganized, they're not lazy, they're not bad at systems, they're too good. They've built a system that runs on them. Every decision flows through them, every problem lands on their desk. And the better they get at solving those problems, the more problems come their way. It's a trap, and most founders don't see it until they're exhausted, working 60 hours a week, wondering why their team can't just figure it out. I'm going to show you exactly how this happens and the 3 things that I do to fix it. Let me tell you about a client that I worked with last year. He runs a marketing agency, about 15 people, doing just under $1 million a year in revenue. On paper, everything looked fine. Good clients, decent margins, talented team. But here's what was actually happening. He was spending 80% of his time firefighting. His team would start a project, hit a roadblock, and immediately come to him for the answer. Not because they were incompetent, because that's how the business was built. He was the answering machine. And over time, his team learned if you wait long enough, he'll just do it himself. So they waited, and he ended up doing it. Meanwhile, the stuff that actually grows your business, the partnerships, the strategy, the new offers, that got pushed to nights and weekends, or it didn't happen at all. Sound familiar? When I sat down with him, I asked him a simple question. If you disappeared for 6 weeks, what would happen to this business? He laughed, not because it was funny, because he knew the answer. It would fall apart. Not immediately, but within a week or 2, things would start breaking, clients would get frustrated, the team would stall. And that's when it hit him. He didn't have a business. He had a job that he couldn't quit. Here's what most people get wrong about this problem. They think it's a team issue. They think if they just hired better people or trained their team more, this would go away. It won't, because the bottleneck isn't your team. The bottleneck is how your business is wired. When you're the only one who can answer certain questions, you've made yourself essential. And essential is not the same as effective. The goal isn't to be needed. The goal is to build something that runs without you in every routine decision. You should still be involved in the big stuff, strategy, vision, key relationships, but the day-to-day, that should flow without you. So how do you actually fix this? When I come into a business like this, I focus on 3 things, not theory, not vision boards, 3 practical changes that shift how the business operates. Number 1, accountability lanes. Most businesses at this stage have fuzzy ownership. People kind of know what they're responsible for, but when something falls through the cracks, everyone looks at each other or they look at you. The first thing I do is draw clear lanes. Every major function in the business gets one owner, not a committee, not shared responsibility, one person who owns the outcome. Operations, sales, marketing, delivery, each one has a name attached to it. When there's a problem in that lane, everyone knows who to go to and it's not you. This sounds simple. It is simple, but almost no one does it clearly. They say, well, Sarah handles marketing, but also some sales, and sometimes she helps with the client onboarding. That's not a lane, that's a mess. Clear lanes, one owner per function, that's step 1. Once you've got clear lanes, you need to push decisions down into those lanes. This is where most founders struggle. They say they want to delegate, but then they second guess every decision, or they require approval on things that don't matter. Here's what I tell clients. If the decision is reversible and low cost, your team should make it without asking you. If someone on your team asks, should I use this subject line or that one, or they need your approval, that's a problem. Not because the decision is hard, because the system is wrong. You should only be involved in decisions that are expensive to reverse or strategic in nature. Everything else should happen without you. This isn't about trust, it's about speed. The faster your team can move without waiting for you, the faster the business grows. Number 3, weekly rhythm. The last piece is a simple meeting structure. Every week, your leadership team meets for 60 to 90 minutes. Not to give updates. Updates are a waste of time. Send those in writing. This meeting has one purpose: surface and solve problems. What's stuck? What's about to break? What decisions need to be made this week? You go around the room, everyone names their top issue, you pick the biggest ones and you solve them together. Then you leave and get back to work. This rhythm does 2 things. First, it catches problems early before they become fires that you have to put out. Second, it trains your team to solve problems together without waiting for you to notice something's wrong. Most businesses don't have this. They have ad hoc check-ins or weekly updates that no one reads, or nothing at all. One meeting every week, same format. That's the structure that holds everything together. Now, you might be watching this thinking, that sounds great, but my business is different. Maybe you're smaller, maybe you're bigger, maybe your team isn't ready for this. Here's what I've learned after doing this dozens of times. The pattern is always the same. The details change, the industries change, but the bottleneck is always the founder. And the fix is always the same. Clear lanes, push down decisions, weekly rhythm. If you do these three things, you'll free up 10 to 20 hours a week minimum. Not because you're working less, because you're finally working on the right things, the stuff that only you can do. If you're watching this and thinking, I know I'm the bottleneck, but I don't know where to start. Well, I've built something for you, and it's called the Operational Readiness Assessment. You answer a series of questions about how your business runs, and at the end you get a clear picture of where you're strong, where you're leaking time and money, and what to fix first. No pitch at the end, no sales call required, just clarity on where to focus. The link's in the description, and if you found this useful, subscribe. I put out videos like this regularly, helping service business owners get out of the weeds so they can actually grow. See you in the next one.